Joining us now to talk about this subject where culture, entertainment, and politics all merge, it's our good friend, Newsmax insider James Hirsen, author of the Left Coast Report. James, we welcome you back. And as we view this question of gay marriage, what role has Hollywood played in promoting gay marriage?
The role has been huge. It may be the most significant role. A national news organization called Hollywood the best man of gay marriage. And the reason is, of course, of same-sex marriage is that for so many years, the pop culture has been used to influence attitudes and beliefs, and it's the most effective way, especially with young people. We go back to the sitcom of Will and Grace, which Vice President Joe Biden cited when the first time he changed his mind on this issue, which allegedly was the catalyst for the entire, for the administration and for the Democrat Party to change their mind. And so Will and Grace and its progeny, so many sitcoms having mandatory gay characters, Modern Family featuring a same-sex marriage, all of these things. We go back to Brokeback Mountain, even to Tom Hanks in Philadelphia. Hollywood prides itself as being the community that helped change the attitudes that allowed this sort of thing to permeate. But there's a huge misunderstanding because it's not so much when we talk about the general population that the attitudes have changed. It's the attitudes of those on the federal bench that has really been the key to what has happened legally.
Now, James, what's the mood in LA following the Supreme Court ruling? Some on the left are saying the high court just punted the issue. And is California as a whole more progressive when it comes to this issue, or is it just LA?
Well, there are two Californias. You know, there's the kind of coastal California, the upscale California, and then there's a different California that basically is rural, which is still conservative. And so obviously, as a whole, this state, the largest continental state in the United States, doesn't, as a state, celebrate in a homogenous way. But in the centers of California, the urban centers, San Francisco, Los Angeles, even probably partially San Diego, there's a great celebration. And of course, the celebrity world in Hollywood took to their Twitter accounts right away, as they did earlier this year when there was a Supreme Court decision on the Defense of Marriage Act. They're very congratulatory. They played a huge role in opposing Proposition 8, the initiative that essentially said that the traditional definition of marriage should be the legal definition of marriage, which passed 52 to 47. I'm not sure it would be that big a margin, but I think it still would pass today based on the population of California.
Well, it's interesting, James, as you mention all of these things, we can only ponder what is next in California. Tell you what, with 20 seconds left, what is next? Are we going to move past one-to-one marriage into polyamory? Will that be taken up by Hollywood next?
That, I don't know if they're going to go for polygamy. I think a different state is involved in that. It appears there's already lawsuits in Utah on that subject. But one thing it has done, same-sex marriage and its legalization de facto has created an opening for those people that promote so-called multiple marriages, and you really can't deny their logic.
Well, I appreciate that kind of preview on what's next. What's next here? More with James Hirsen when we come back. America's Forum continues here on Newsmax TV.